Hello everyone, this is Lincoln Prime, and today we are taking a look at the RX-121-1 Gundam Hazel Custom. Now, before we look at the kit, as always, we'll be taking a quick look at the box. So basically, on the front, we have this really nice artwork of the Hazel Custom on the front. We get the, basically what the Gundam is called, the high grade logo, Universal Century, and the Bandai logo. We do get a picture. There's just some pictures of the Gundam at the top, basically some gimmicks that it has. Basically stuff that I cannot read. And at the other side, we do have two pictures of the Gundam, as well as another picture right there, and some more stuff that I cannot read. On the side, there is the Gundam, or Hazel Custom at the side, and the same thing on the other side. There's nothing at the back, so when it comes to the box, that is about it. And moving right along, here we have the Hazel Custom fully built out of the box, and I have to say this is a really nice looking kit. Now, in terms of detail, most of it is pretty much already there in the kit, but what I did do was I did have to paint certain aspects of the kit, mainly such as the black in the vents right here, the green right here on the shins, and then the gray right in here. There's also the yellow right here for the little V plate right there, and then the kind of mohawk area I painted as well, mainly the green and then the yellow bits. And then the eyes as well, I did paint. For some reason the eyes came out a little bit more reflective than some of the other green parts, because I did use the same green for the eyes that I did use there, and right here on the back. But, you know, and then the rest of it is basically just pan lining. Oh, and I also forgot, but the red on the fingertips as well. But the rest of it is pan lining. The stickers right here, this does come with as well. But for when it comes to detail and colors, most of it is already there with the kit, and some of it is just there to be added, which I did do for this model kit. But it does look really nice in general. Now, I don't know what this really looks like without any of the added detail, but honestly I do prefer it with the detail. Oh, and I also did the thrusters in this nice looking chrome as well. So but yeah, but like just mainly paint and detail and stickers and all that kind of stuff is optional, but I would highly suggest it. The overall physique of the kit looks amazing in my opinion. I do love the way these legs look right here. Just the bulkiness looks really nice. And the boxiness as well. It does give off that Universal Century vibe to it, which I really do enjoy. Universal Century, you know, it is the original timeline, and I do highly love the look of the mobile suits from that timeline. But in terms of aesthetics of this kit, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, when it comes to pretty much just the basic build of the kit, it is pretty solid. I mean, it might weaken over time because this is an older kit. This kit did come out back in, let's see, it came out back in 2005. So this kit has been around since I was born. So you know, when it comes to sturdiness and all that kind of stuff, so far there's no problems. I mean, I did just build this like 2 days ago, or finish building it 2 days ago. So no big problems with sturdiness in general. I mean, it kind of passes the shake test. No, it does pass the shake test. I mean, if you grab it from here, obviously it's gonna wiggle because this section right here is only on a a peg right here, and it only does have that little kind of swivel right there on the poly cap, and it just does pop back on like so. But you know, so far there's no stability problems or anything like that. It stands. You know, if you put it down like that, it stands. I mean, the bulkiness also does kind of help, also with the big feet there. So standing him up is no problem at all whatsoever. So that does make it easier if you're getting into some poses that may throw some other kits off balance. That will not be a problem with this particular mobile suit. But you know, when it comes to everything else, that is pretty much about it. But the build as well, I did want to mention, is very nice and smooth. I did also shave off the nub marks in most areas, so they aren't as prominent as they were when I cut it out. All I had to do was basically cut it, but not next to the piece, and then basically just file it down with my main file. Like I have like a file, and then I used that, and then I used different, like, you know, a more gritty kind of sandpaper. I can't remember which particular number grit that I used, but I used like a like kind of a lower grit, and then I used two others that kind of made it to where it would smooth out the plastic a bit more, but that did work out a lot better, and that's what I have been doing with most of my kits recently, and it's been working out pretty well so far. But in terms of detail and just sturdiness and all that kind of things with this kit, I think that this kit does a great job with everything that it needs to. And now let us talk about the accessories. So this is the basic layout of what the Hazel Custom does come with. He does come with these two shields right here. I'll go over this one first. This one looks pretty nice. This did have a included sticker right here. Everything else is panel lined, but the color separation is really nice looking. I probably should have added some panel lining in this area, but because it's not really shown from that angle, it doesn't really matter. The back side I also did panel line, but it does have this little part right here which does flip out, and that is for basically this right here. So what this part does is this has this back section right here, and it does go inside. Actually, you fold this up, you have to pull this out and rotate that up, and then this does go right into here on the back, like so. There we go. So this kind of does store like this. I'm pretty sure this is more meant for the other version of this kit, where it's not like it doesn't have the white. It's more of like a dark blue, like a navy blue color, but I can't remember. It's another Hazel kit, but you can do that with this shield right here. So you do have that option, and then there's also the more basic shield that it comes with, and there wasn't much to really add detail wise with this. I did apply the sticker wrong by accident, but that's okay. It was still able to fit in that area. I didn't do anything more on the back side, but as you may have noticed with both these shields, they both have these two kind of adapters on the back side. So what these are for is it comes with this adapter piece right here, and it does have two little slots. What I do prefer is using this section right here, and it does slot right there on the back. You can rotate it around freely and all that kind of stuff, and then all you got to do is there is a little peg on the back of the arm, and then you just port it on like so, and that is how you put the shield on. So that is pretty nice and works very well. Pop that off. So you do get that option as well. Just slide that back off. And then you also do get these two ammo packs right here, which they go on this like on the side skirts of the Gundam, but they don't really go on the gun, because like it comes with this ammo pack right here, but it doesn't really have any way of storing, I'm pretty sure, just mainly because these yellow sections. Pop that off. Yeah, no, there's no way you can really, no way you could put these on the gun, so they do just go onto the side skirts right here. You just pop them on like so, not like that, sorry. You just pop that on like that, and then do the same thing with this side as well. So just pop this on to the side skirt like so. So that is the storage for those two on the side skirts. Now, setting that to the side, he does come with only 3 hands, which is kind of weird in my opinion. I mean, usually I'm kind of used to these kits having a bit more hands. And while I do kind of like sometimes more a simplistic layout of accessories, hands are just that one thing where it's like if you only limit them to certain types of hands, it just doesn't feel right. It's like you have this trigger, like this trigger finger hand mainly for the gun, or only for the gun. I'm pretty sure you might be able to interchange other weapons from other model kits for this hand. So you do have options there, but you get that hand, you get this beam saber holding hand, and the way that does go in is basically here's the beam saber, and you just kind of slide it in, and it's pretty sturdy. It works pretty well. All you got to do, I mean, is just take the Gundam and pop it in there, and he's got his beam saber right there. And then you also do have this regular open hand for this side right here, and this is the only hand for this arm. So not very many options in terms of interchanging the hands, but that is okay considering that, you know, you only get you get two hands that are, you know, for the only weapons that he really has for this specific side, and there's really no other weapons that go on this side. But I do wish there may have been some kind of like another hand for this side in terms of the beam saber, so that way he could hold the beam saber and you could have more weapons stored on this kit. But you do, like if you pop it off and stuff like that, take out the beam, he does have a port right here, and that just goes inside that right there. So you do have storage for the beam saber, and then you also, the other way, or the other thing I mean is for the hand, all you got to do is just pop off the fingers like so, and then take the gun and then port this, oh sorry, other way, port that. So basically the trigger finger goes into the trigger section right there, and then all you got to do is just kind of sandwich these two parts together. And of course, because the camera is on, it wants to fight me a little bit, so I do apologize for that. Come on, there we go. So you just port that together and sandwich it like that, and there you go. The gun does look pretty nice. I mean, it's not something I'm used to seeing with Gundam kits. I mean, when I first started building this, I keep forgetting that this is not the barrel and this is, so the way it's angled just kind of looks wrong. It kind of just feels like it's backwards in a sense, but it looks pretty nice. And just the way, you know, you do the same thing on this side, just pop that in like so, got the gun. But yeah, so pretty much in terms of accessories, I mean, that's kind of about it. You get these two parts right here, and in the instructions it said that these go on the shoulders, but I don't know how to attach these, so if anyone knows in the comments, please let me know how you put these on, because I have no clue. But in other words, I don't really have any use for these two parts. So but in terms of accessories, that pretty much kind of sums it up. So pretty nice layout, just kind of wish there were some more hand options, but yeah. Now in terms of articulation, we do get a ball joint in the head, so the head can look up, not too far, not down too far. I mean, he does have a bit of a swivel. It's on that kind of polycap ball joint, so it is like a double jointed neck section, so it can look down just a little bit more than, oh wait, no, that's as far as it can look up. It was just kind of being blocked by the back. And then it can kind of look side to side pretty well, and then it could go full 360, but not too well, mainly just because of all the stuff kind of blocking it. So the head can swivel side to side. In the torso, all you really get is this, and then a slight ab crunch, and the back can also arc back just a little bit, but you do get that, and the swivel. And then the arms as well can go all the way around like so. They can go out this far and in that far. The shoulder pads also move right there. Double jointed elbow bend, which is nice, can go up that far and down that far. And the wrist is on a ball joint, so that can swivel around and go in many various directions as you would want it to. The front skirts right here are on a kind of a joint. These were kind of fused together, so you can't really you know, well, you can cut them in half and they'll still function pretty well, but they do flip up, allowing for the legs to kick forward about this much. Because of the huge bulky knees, you can't really get them to go up that far, but they can go up about that far. Can't really go back too far, mainly just because the butt plate is kind of, it doesn't move at all whatsoever, so that's pretty much all you get in terms of moving backwards. In terms of doing the splits, he can do the splits decently, I guess. Double jointed knee bend, which is a little bit more than what I'm used to seeing with these older kits, so that's pretty nice. And then the way that now, what I do like in the ankle pivot is the way they actually engineered this. So usually with this kind of poly cap, I'm gonna pop this off. There we go. Ooh. And with the beam saber, hold up. Right here, so usually with these polycaps, the way it's molded is this polycap is in the foot, but instead what they did is they added a section right in here, so the little pegs that the polycap section go into is right here and here, so it allows for some pivoting motion. And then the ball joint right here, because this already has some pivot enough as it is, allows the ankle to go a lot more than what I may be used to with these kinds of older kits. So in terms of engineering, I mean, I kind of wish that they kept that a little more. I'm pretty sure they may have over time, just because the way that they're able to do that has gotten way better in terms of ankle pivot. But I think that's a pretty nice little note of engineering right there. But in terms of articulation, that is about it, and it does work very, very, very nicely. And these are just some basic poses you can get them into. Now, for comparison, here we have the high-grade Hazel Custom next to another high-grade kit, the RX-121-1 Gundam. For a master-grade comparison, here he is with the master-grade RX-121 3.0. And for another comparison, here he is with the Netflix Optimus Prime. And for my final comments on this model kit, I absolutely love how it looks, I love the build, and he's pretty cheap for what he is. I picked this guy up for around 17 bucks, which isn't too bad in terms of, high grade price, and I think it was worth it. I think, some of the prices that Bandai might put for these kinds of high grade kits are pretty nice, so when it comes to a grade like this that is pretty, in depth, but also basic at the same time, I think that this is a really, really good example of what Bandai can do with their stuff. It is an older kit, but at the same time, it still has some really nice nods of, just more things that they could probably use in future kits, just things that were kind of ahead of its time. So I think that is really cool with this kid, and I gotta say, for 17 bucks, that is not bad at all. Do I recommend this kit? Hell yes. I highly recommend this kit if you can find it anywhere. But in terms of build quality, how it feels, articulation, it all checks out. But that I think is really good in terms of that. But anyways, that's about it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.